Okay, to kind of bring everybody up to speed, here's the motor back from the machine shop. Started life as a 1974 C30 motorhome engine. I bought it on Facebook for 50 bucks. She had some pits down in one of the cylinders, so the guy who had it thought it was shot. Um, I spent the 50 bucks, rolled the dice because it didn't look that bad to me. So I took it to the machine shop, and it had some heavy ridging up at the top and needed to be rebuilt anyway, or needed to be bored out anyway. Hone wouldn't have cleaned it up. So I had him go ahead and bore it 30 over. And it's matched to the pistons exactly, which is something they do now, which they never did back in my day. Along with that, they put in all new cam bearings, all new freeze plugs. I am taking the freeze plugs out and putting in brass ones. I don't like the steel freeze plugs. I prefer the brass. And then, of course, we decked the block to make sure it was flat as a board. One of the cool things about these is when you have it decked, it removes the serial number off the front of the block, which will allow me to stamp in the serial number from my 2-bolt main. And that way it's a matching engine. It is a 74 350 going in a 74. So that definitely makes life really cool. The other thing I had done is, if you look down at some of the boards, you can see, like down in there, you can see those little cutouts. They actually clearance this block. I've got a 400 crank that's journals have been cut down to fit inside this block. And that's how you get your 383 basically. Which is, as everybody knows, a really good motor just out of the box. It's kind of like the old 302s. Same thing. The difference of that stroke is some serious high-end horsepower going this direction. It's going to bring that piston up higher, down lower, bigger volume, make things way more fun. This one I'm targeting for about 450 horse on pump gas with everything, all the components. Other than that, yeah, the block's been clearanced, ready to go, all cleaned up, and now comes the fun part. I got my parts all ordered. They match the pistons and everything to the bores. They're, as you see, they're all numbered to make it easy to remember which one's which, and also so that you know when you're balancing them how much they weigh. So the trick to balancing is you take your scale and you set it on grams. Take your piston, pull your pin out, because the pins all have a little bit of different weight too. Set your piston on, get your weight, and if you see, I've already weighed one of them. And this one is 602.8. So 602.8. Oops, wrong place. My bad. Move that up. Actually goes right there. 602.8. And then the pin weighs, we weigh the pin next. And it is 146.2. Really, really close to the other one. So 146.2. The last thing you measure with all this stuff, and I haven't numbered them, I haven't done anything, they're still in the boxes and such, are the rings. You multiply those three together to get your total weight. Now the reason you do it this way is so that you can mix and match parts to make the weight balance a little bit more, and you don't have to take so much off your pistons and off your connecting, or off your wrist pin. So it definitely allows you to change things around a little bit. That way you can make sure that they all balance. And if you don't know, a balanced engine runs smooth as silk. When all the parts that are moving are the same exact weight, it's almost perfect. The only thing that's not balanced is the crankshaft. To balance a crankshaft like that, it'd be about $600. You balance it with the flywheel and the harmonic balancer. You don't, unless you want to spend the $600, or you can buy a balanced crank. I bought the crank 25 years ago for $100, brand new in the box, with bearings and everything. So I am not going to go out and have it balanced. This is kind of a budget put together motor anyway. The parts and everything are all budget. The only thing I did was I did spend about $700 on machine work because I wanted to make sure that this block was ready for anything I threw at it. Got studs coming for the crank, so it'll be all studs. There'll be studs on the heads. This motor definitely going to build it way overbuild it that way. That way I don't ever have to worry about replacing it. So that's kind of rundown of what I'm doing today. I'm doing the balancing of all the parts, and I'll finish all that up and then show you how you can mix and match the different parts. But few different measurements. That's a lot of difference between those two pistons. And like I say, the pins usually are going to be right around the same, but the pistons are what's going to be different. The rods I've got coming are supposed to be balanced already. We'll see how that turns out. They have to be special ordered, of course. I won't have them for a little while, but I figure at least now I can get the pistons and pins and rings all weighed out. That way I know what everything is. This is the Summit full kit. Comes with the high volume oil pump. Comes with all the bearings and everything you need. It even comes with cam bearings. Comes with all your plugs. Brass freeze plugs. Like I said, I'm taking those metal ones out and putting in brass. Your oil pump, your rings, your bearing sets, your gasket set, everything you need to put together your motor, and relatively inexpensive. This is their inexpensive set of pistons. They're coated, moly coated. These are flat tops. And as you see, they're 30 over. It appears to be a good quality piece. Kind of impressed with it based on what I'm seeing so far. I wish the weights were a little bit closer to each other, but a couple of grams here or there is one thing. But like this one, the difference between this piston and the last one is a lot when it comes to weight. And you don't really think about it until you're actually running the motor. But those of us who know that who have run a balanced motor before, that this is the way to do it. So that's kind of where I'm at with everything. I'm going to sit here and reweigh everything. Going to weigh it twice because, like I said, this one just weighed out at 601.6, and now it's bouncing between 7 and 8. So definitely want to check and make sure my bubble is level, so I'm good there. Oh yeah, it also comes with plastic gauge and your assembly lube, which is kind of nice. But that's kind of where we're at so far.